Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. As always, since the day, well, I shouldn't say since the day I was born, because Ross Benjamin is my DBA, but my real first name is Rosario. My middle name is Benjamin, and I'm not telling you what my last name is, other than the fact that I'm Italian. And so is the guy below me. His name is Mr. Joe D'Amico, and also Jesse. Cool Jesse Schule is in that top left-hand corner if you're facing your screen. So, guys, how are you? Let's start with Joey. I haven't talked to you in a while.
You know, Ross, everything is going good. I had to take a little time off. Unfortunately, one of my dogs had a little procedure. He's on the mend. He's feeling good right now. He's doing well. I am happy to be here with you and one of my oldest and best friends, Jesse Schule. I do want to take a moment, whether you worship or not, whoever you worship, do or don't worship at all. Guys, this is a very special time of year. Sun is shining. Easter is on Sunday. I want to take a moment to wish everybody a happy Easter. I know those of you who worship or other religions, Passover is this time of the year. Everybody out there, just be safe. It's spring. The sun is shining. Going into the NBA playoffs. Baseball season is upon us. NHL playoffs are about to start. I just want to wish everybody out there just a happy and a lovely spring.
Very nice, Joe. I would like to wish everybody as well a happy Easter. I'm a person of Christian faith, so I observe Easter, and today is Good Friday in our religion, so it's a good time of year. The weather's starting to break in the Northeast. You guys don't have that problem where you are. But in any event, Joey's dog is on the mend, and I wish some of mine are on the mend because I haven't had a very good week, Jesse. So my dogs, as opposed to Joey's dogs, are not healing. They need to start healing today. And Jesse, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I've been a little bit under the weather, some air quality issues where I live, but the gambling's going well, off to a great start with baseball. Actually, me and Joey are tied neck and neck near the top of the leaderboards. Both, I think Joe's hitting 70%, I'm hitting 71%, so we're neck and neck, and I'm sure Joe's happy about that. I know I am.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm always appreciative of the fact when you guys are doing well because it makes me look good. And I know you feel the same about me. And sometimes we have our struggles and we fight through them, So, but, as opposed to other channels where handicappers cut each other down, we pull for each other on this channel. So, I mean, there's enough money to go around, folks. And again, if guys are on this channel, they're well established. And they're very knowledgeable. And again, folks, the whole process here is not just about giving you a free pick winner, but the topics that we discuss in the world of sports handicapping, our goal is to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. If you're looking for a 5-minute video where you rush through a couple free picks, you don't learn a thing other than who that handicapper likes and possibly why. There's a lot of them out there, and I'm not one to cut anybody down. That's their style. But this is a podcast. It's a sports betting podcast, and we really, really appreciate all the subscribers. We've had over 300 new subscribers over the last 2 weeks, and the subscriber count continues to go, and we are very appreciative because without you, these shows don't last. Guys, it's the time of year in the NBA. There's a couple games left in the regular season for most teams, but not only are we seeing teams that aren't playing for nothing, we also see teams that are locked in to a certain seed in the playoffs. And a couple games we're discussing today, Golden State taking on Sacramento and the Lakers taking on Phoenix, Joey's game, and I'm discussing the Knicks in New Orleans. That all three of those games involve a team that the lines that we're looking at right now might seem odd, but there's a reason behind it. All three games involve teams that are locked into a playoff seed, and the other team is not, and they still has something to play for. So anyway. Jesse, any advice you can give the listeners out there and the viewers out there on this time of year in terms of how you approach it?
Well, I mean, first off, you got to be hitting those overnight lines. If you're not a up late at night when the lines come out, then hit them early in the morning, and you got to be ahead of the game. You can't roll out of bed at 8 a.m. and check the lineups and then make your decision.
There you go.
And you got to gamble a little bit. You got to foresee. You got all these teams resting players. You can predict when and why teams will rest players. If you wait until the announcement is made, it's probably too late.
Yeah, and then you're going to get an abrupt line move if you wait that long. So anticipating, doing your homework, and seeing where everybody is in the standings at this time of year takes a great precedence when it comes to the foundation of what you're looking at in the NBA down the stretch here. Joey, your thoughts? I mean, you've been a successful NBA handicapper all year. But at this time of year, it throws us a monkey wrench and a bunch of curveballs. But your approach at this time of year, Joe?
Well, Jesse, we're in a business of monkey wrenches and curveballs, that's for sure. But I will say, Ross, Jesse, sports fans, I look at the last week or so of the NBA regular season, much like I look at the last game or two of the NFL regular season. In my opinion, I like to stay with teams that need to better their playoff seeding or to make the playoffs, as opposed to teams that are locked into certain positions. Now, wait a minute, guys. This has been a very strange NBA campaign. This load management is for a whole other show. We could do a 10-part mini-series on it. I can tell you right now. But this season has been very strange. Always do your due diligence. But having said that, the odds makers know the situations and the seeding and the possibilities and the locked-in teams. So the odds makers know that the lines are going to reflect the situations as well. So as Ross said, he made a preemptive strike. He says, guys, some of these lines are going to be a little out of whack, so to speak. But there's a reason why. But also, Jesse made a good point. This business does not suffer fools. Get up. Do your due diligence, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this business should be entertaining, but it's still a business. It's always been my experience that it's been more entertaining and more enjoyable when we're winning. We're not in this to lose. All right, so do your due diligence. This is a very tough time of the year. The last few games of the season, very, very significant to some teams. To others, they don't care. They'll put in the water boy. They don't even care at this point, Ross. So do your due diligence.
You want entertaining, you want people to laugh at, go to Barstool Sports. You want to have a little bit of laughter and be filled with knowledge, come right here. And that's about as extreme as I'll get when criticizing anybody else. So take it for what it's worth. God bless Dave at Barstool. He's put together a tremendous company, but we take a different approach here, and I'm sure he's going to say my pocketbook speaks volumes over everybody else's, and it's okay because that's what business is about, right, guys? In any event, Jesse, you're going to be taking a look at the Golden State and Sacramento game, and this, again, the line jumped right out at me with Golden State laying 8.5 on the road at Sacramento. This line did open, I believe, somewhere around 4, Jesse. So when you started handicapping the game last night, so you're going to have a different approach on the direction you're going as a result. But explain to the audience where you started with this game and then why you shifted gears to the pick you're going to make right now.
Well, Ross, I mentioned you got to get up early in the morning to take advantage of these lines. And that's one of the many benefits for me living overseas. I roll out of bed at noon where I am, and that's, midnight over where you're at. So I'm up all night long while everybody else is sleeping. I'm awake doing my work, drinking my coffee. And I was able to get this at a 5.5 when I put out the play on Golden State. And, the reasons are pretty obvious. The Kings are locked into the number 3 seed. They've already clinched the Pacific Conference or Pacific Division, and they're expected to rest everybody. They're expected to throw in the towel. So, and the Warriors, they need this win. They got the Lakers on their heels. They don't want to end up in the play-in. So it's a must-win for Golden State. And I like the Warriors at the opening line, but I don't want to lay double digits here or anywhere close to that. So I had a look at the team totals, and what I ended up wanting to go with was under Sacramento's team total, 109.5 plus 130, which is an alternative team total from Bet365. You're getting some nice plus money if Sacramento scores under 109.5 points.
Very good. So Jesse Schule likes the Sacramento Kings to go under their team total of 109.5 for all the reasons he just specified. And yeah, I mean, Golden State, I mean, it's 8.5 on the road against a team that's got a substantially better record, but and also a Golden State team, geez, Jesse, 33-8 at home, 9-30 on the road, and they're minus 8.5 at Sacramento. So that certainly speaks volumes to me, and it should speak volumes to you. Joey, any thoughts on this matchup?
Well, Ross, just like me, I'll keep this one short and sweet. Guys, in my opinion, if these two teams get to face one another in the postseason, I think it will be one of the most exciting matchups in this season's playoffs. The Kings have already, as Jesse mentioned, clinched the Pacific Division title, and no worse than a number 3 seed in the West. The Warriors currently tied for 5th in the conference with the Clippers, which do hold a tiebreaker. Now, wait, you're going to need a calculator to figure some of these things out. However, Golden State could patch LA and ensure themselves no lower than a 6th seed with both a win here tonight and again on Sunday against Portland. Now, folks, early reports are that everybody but the towel boy, the guy that brings in the Gatorade, and the guy that washes the team uniform are going to be sitting for Sacramento. And obviously, this changes things significantly. However, I really think this is a lot of points, guys. I really do. Please understand that the 3 meetings between these two California rivals this season have been settled by an average of 5 points per game. I think the number makes this game very, very tough. While I side with the Warriors here tonight, as a win, I would not bet them on the money line. To me, it doesn't give me any advantage, guys. It's a whole other story. But, guys, I'm going to stay away from this one personally.
Yeah, well, again, tread lightly at this time of year, folks. The bottom line is there's a lot of uncertainties. There's players being held out. There's teams that have clinched, all the stuff that we all have just alluded to. But remember, if we know this information, so do the odds makers. So the adjustments have been made by them. It's all incorporated in the line. So don't ever think you're smarter than the odds makers are, because you're not. Okay. And the bottom line is you don't need to fear an odds maker. You need to respect them. And you need to think like an odds maker if you want to be a winner in this industry. All right, Joey, think like an odds maker for me here as the Lakers entertain Phoenix. And this is one of those situations. Again, the Lakers tied for the number 7 seed with New Orleans, 1 game behind Golden State. And you went through that whole scenario, and they're minus 9.5 against the Phoenix Suns, who come in on a 7-game win streak.
You know, Ross, once again, we talked about this. We made a preemptive strike this time here, last few games of the season. Phoenix locked into the number 4 seed in the West. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, LA currently tied for 7th best record in the conference with 2 games left. There are a lot of scenarios for the Lakers, folks. I'm not even going to begin to open up their Pandora's box. Now, I would think that LeBron and company would like to stay out of the play-in round. However, they really don't seem too concerned about where they sit in the postseason right now. They're not giving out too much. They're playing it close to the vest. Having said that, yes, Los Angeles took the most recent meeting back in March, 122-111 at home. But prior to that, Phoenix had their way in this rivalry, winning 9 straight games in the series, straight up 8-1 against the number. Now, early reports on this game are that the Suns head coach Monty Williams just might be sitting a couple of key cogs in the wheel. Always do your due diligence and check injury, sports fans. We touched on that. I do think Los Angeles wins this game, but I feel the line here is a little bit high. Guys, I know Monty Williams and the Suns, they know very well that they may meet the Lakers down the road, and I don't think they're going to want to give them a leg up, suffer a bad loss, an embarrassing loss here to give LA a mental edge down the road. I just think this is too many points to give a team that has covered 4 of the last 5, playing on 0 days rest, 4 of the last 5 meetings with the Lakers in LA, and 5 of the last 7 overall. They are still covering. This is a team deep with talent, deep with pride. They know that a mental edge in the postseason, that counts for a couple of baskets in every matchup. I'll tell you that was. So I'm going to take the points with Phoenix here tonight.
All right. So Joey D, he likes the Phoenix Suns plus 9.5 at the Lakers tonight. And yeah, I mean, Joey makes some good points. Good stuff, Joe. The bottom line is, folks, just because a team needs a game more, just because they need to win more, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win. And certainly doesn't mean they're a shoe in to cover. So just keep that in mind. I mean, these adjustments have been made in the line. Look, right off the bat, you look at the Suns plus 9.5 at the Lakers. There's no way in hell that all their frontline players are going to play tonight with that line. So I can't see that changing. Phoenix really doesn't have anything to play for. Now is as good a time as any to rest some of your veteran players, a la Chris Paul or any of those other guys that have a little bit of wear and tear on them at this time of year. So reviewing again, Joey likes the Phoenix Suns plus 9.5 over the Lakers. Jesse likes the Sacramento Kings to go under the total of 109.5. That's a team total. And you're going to get money line odds of plus 130 on Jesse's play as well. So a nice betting value there and a unique approach to look at that game to get around all the uncertainties that we see at this time of year. I'm going to look at the Knicks in New Orleans right now. Again, another one of these games. New Orleans an 8.5 point favorite. The total's 224.5. There's no way in hell if everybody from the Knicks was playing that New Orleans was going to be anywhere close to an 8.5 point favorite. And sure enough, Joey mentioned check the injury reports. And part of the injury reports is this load management thing. You know, Joe, I told my wife yesterday, I came, she says, you're done early today. What's wrong? I says, load management, my dear. She goes, well, that's load management for your business. Now that you're upstairs, you're all mine. I need you to go out and cut the grass. Anyway, the Knicks will be without Julius Randle, who's nursing an ankle injury. Also, Jalen Brunson, load management. And then also R.J. Barrett is listed as questionable with he's suffering from an illness right now. You take those three players out of the lineup and you're taking 68.5 points per game out of the lineup. Now, other guys will step up, but you can't help but ignore that kind of productivity on a Knicks team that is very good. In terms of where their record is right now. They play great down the stretch, but you know, it's hard to replace your 3-star players because basically we're talking about their 3 best players on the floor, arguably. And the New York Knicks have won 5 in a row, all by 9 points or more, and here they are as an 8.5 point dog. They're giving you the winner here, folks. They're giving you the winner. And also New Orleans, by the way, not too bad. 8-2 straight up in ATS in their last 10. Like a lot of teams in the NBA, not real good on the road, but good at home. I mean, they're 15-25 on the road, but they're not on the road today. They're at home where they're 26-14. The Knicks are currently locked into the number 5 seed in the East. Looks like a matchup with Cleveland in the first round. And New Orleans, as Joey mentioned and Jesse mentioned when talking about playoff scenarios, they're tied with the Lakers for the number 7 seed and one game behind Golden State for the number 6 seed. So they certainly have a lot to play for. And I'm going to go with the team who's healthy, is playing all their players, and has more to play for, and that's New Orleans Pelicans, minus 8.5 over the New York Knicks. Jesse, any thoughts?
Well, Ross, everything you said makes sense. I think you're on the right side, but the Pelicans are off my Christmas list. I don't know if you remember this, but it was a couple days ago. The Sacramento Kings had just clinched the playoff spot, and they were playing the second game of a back-to-back in New Orleans. I had New Orleans on the money line as just a slight favorite, and they got killed by 20 points. So they're off my Christmas list. And as Joey D'Amico likes to say, I hope they catch them.
Joey, any thoughts?
No, Ross. And you know, following you is tough enough. Then I got to follow you and Jesse. It's like being in the murderer's row lineup back in the 27 Yankees. One batter is just as better than the next and the next and the next. And I got to tell you, you made some great points. Jesse made some great points. And by the way, Jesse, I feel that way about certain teams. I lost the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football game about 15 years ago. I still haven't forgiven them. Just want to tell you that. But having said that, Ross mentioned New York's locked into the number 5 seed in the East. New Orleans clinched a spot in the West play-in tournament and at least the number 9 seed. Now, my friends, Randall and Brunson, both listed as out tonight for New York. Barrett listed as questionable once again. Check injuries in this NBA by the minute. This is like the stock market. Things can change in seconds, so do your due diligence. However, I do feel New York is very deep with talent. I mean, they've rested a bunch of guys over the last few games, and yet they won 5 in a row, covering 4 of those 5 outings. Obviously, there's more urgency on the New Orleans side of the ball. And let's face it, they're playing some good basketball as well. Won and covered 8 of their last 10. While I feel the Pelicans win this game because they're pretty damn strong on both ends of the court on the boards, and they have a pretty damn good defense, Ross. And they would love to better their seating situation. I think this is way too many points to give the Knicks. I think a lot of these coaches also look at the last few games of the season, Ross, as we might be facing some of these teams, or we're going into the postseason. We don't know who we're going to play just yet. Let's get a mental edge, and let's at least be competitive the last few days. I'm going to put a small lean on a team that's covered 9 of the last 13 games in New Orleans on the Knicks here. A small lean, Ross.
There you go. So Joey has a small lean on the Knicks, and that's okay. We're not always going to agree. Again, we're competitive guys, but let's go with our official picks, okay? It's nice to hear everybody else's opinions on the game, but we always stick when giving out the picks itself to the games you were assigned. And the games were assigned, I like the New Orleans Pelicans -8.5 over the Knicks. Joey likes the Phoenix Suns plus the 9.5 over the Lakers, and Jesse likes the Sacramento Kings, who will be facing the Golden State Warriors. He likes the Kings to go under their team total of 109.5 at odds of plus 130. All right, let's go around the table here. And Joey, tell the folks where they prefer you get found. I know you had a tremendous run going on in Major League Baseball right now. You're having a terrific NBA season. Tell the folks a little bit about how you're doing of late, what you may have coming up, and where you want them to find you.
Well, Ross, I appreciate being with you. And I want you to know, sports fans, while this panel can be considered a dating site because Jesse, Ross, and myself are so darn good looking, you're looking at well over 120 years of sports betting experience and savvy. With the explosion of social media, we don't put other people down. Everyone does have their 15 minutes of fame. But, and there's always a but, me telling everybody on social media I'm the best is like me saying I'm the smartest guy in special ed class. Doesn't hold any water. I will tell you, you follow numbers. Jesse, Ross, and myself have documented decades of winning numbers. Having said that, this time of year, you must follow a proven and documenting winning capper. Joe D is just that. I've won 5 straight baseball releases, over 70% documented on premium releases this MLB campaign. I'm on a nice run going into the postseason. I'm going to take off officially today and tomorrow, or this weekend in the regular season of NBA. So I'll finish on a 7-4 regular season run. If you join me on any website that I contribute to, I promise you this will be the best, most profitable, most successful, most enjoyable spring you've ever had. SportsMemo.com, SportsCapping.com, TheVegasPicks.com, DonBets.com. I'm on 1,000 of them, guys, and I love that. I also have a very popular free pick phone. Every day on a pre-recorded message line, I have a free winner for you. No callbacks, no sales pitches, no BS, guys. Just a pre-recorded message line that says, "This is Joe D'Amico. Here's a free play. Have a nice day." They're on an 8-4 run the last week and a half. 1-800-563-8854. That's 1-800-JOE-8854. I know how much you love my voice. It's so wonderful, especially in the morning, first thing in the morning. You don't need Red Bull or coffee if you call that free pick phone. But guys, call it up. There's a free play every day, and I do try my best to win. I don't put throwaway games up there. Once again, I'd like to tell everybody happy Easter, happy Passover, whatever you celebrate. God bless you and all your families.
That's Joey D'Amico from all the sites he just mentioned, and he's a future Hall of Famer, and I'm sure he'll be in a Las Vegas Walk of Fame someday because Joey is a prominent figure in the sports betting industry in the city of Las Vegas. And Jesse, Joey's on 1,000 sites. You're on 999. Where you want them to find you?
I want them to follow me on Twitter at Jesse Schule. I want them to follow me on YouTube at Jesse Schule Picks. And I want them to visit my website, jesseschule.com. And I will point out that I came on this show and bragged about going 9-1 with my first 10 baseball plays last year. It was 7-3 this year. No complaints. 70%.
Slacking off, Jesse. You're slacking off, buddy. What's wrong?
I also went 9-1 with my first 10 picks in the NBA playoffs last year. And I'll also be happy if I go 7-3 this year. So just something to keep in mind.
You know, Joe, one thing we can't screw with is Jesse starts, right? So you don't want to mess with him when he gets out of bed in the morning because this guy gets He comes out firing. He starts quick. He's one of those racehorses that shoots to the lead, and you have to expend all your energy to try to catch him. But anyway, you can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. When you go there, folks, my daily and multi-game packages are guaranteed. If you don't win, you don't make a profit. I will credit your account the exact amount of your purchase price. No, you're not going to get your money back, but it's sports betting, folks. Come on. But you will get credited your account if I happen to lose, and you can use that any which way you like toward any future purchases on any day. And that goes for my subscription plans too. That's rbwins.com. That's jesseschule.com. Joey D'Amico, you can find him at sportsmumbo.com, sportscapping.com, and several other donbest.com and several other sites across. Just do a Joe D'Amico search on Google and you'll find him in a lot of places. And again, until the next time, folks, we like to wish each and every one of you out there who observe Easter a very happy Easter. If not, and that's okay, if that's what your belief system is, we do wish you a very, very happy, safe, and great weekend coming up. Until the next time, for Joel D'Amico, Jesse Schule, and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.